Welcome back. Kenya is pressing for reforms in multilateral development banks to unlock climate financing and scale up climate finance based on new collective quantified goals. Speaking at the ongoing conference of parties meeting in Baku, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi called for the redesigning of the credit rating matrix to lower the risk profile of developing countries. This comes even as members of the African civil society groups urged rich nations to enhance climate finance to global south.
The World Leaders Climate Action Summit continued for the third day today here at the COP29, with Kenya taking to the podium and highlighting the cost it is bearing because of climate change. These, even as members of the African civil society raise concerns with the pace and tone of conversations here in Baku. Kenya, just like many developing countries, is paying a heavy price due to the effect of climate change. From debilitating drought in 2022 that wiped off more than 2.4 million livestock to the deadly floods early this year, the country is counting huge losses due to the changing climate. Speaking during the World Leaders Climate Action Summit in Baku, Azerbaijan, Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi has urged the rich nations to commit the $1.3 trillion needed to address climate financing gaps from the year 2025.
This troubling climate story is not confined to Kenya. Africa as a whole is already grappling with the climate-induced annual losses and damages on infrastructure, agriculture, water, tourism, and other climate-sensitive sectors, ranging from 9 to 12% of the continent's GDP.
Mudavadi has told the meeting that this is crucial in accelerating implementation of the national adaptation plans, transition to low carbon and climate resilient development, just transition, and the nationally determined contributions. During the meeting, members of the African civil society groups have demanded action that reflects the true scale of the climate crisis.
The principles of common but differentiated responsibilities and respective capabilities emphasize that developed nations hold a unique obligation to take the lead, considering their historical contribution to emissions. These nations are expected to provide essential support through finance.
Speaking on the sidelines of the ongoing talks, the civil society group said financial commitments by rich nations are vague or conditional, while carbon reduction pledges lack the bold targets required to limit global warming.
Until industrialized countries understand that they also have a responsibility, that this is not about charity, this is not about investment, it is doing the right thing, is when we are going to be serious and reverse the escalating impacts of climate change.
The group also wants an urgent increase in funding to the Loss and Damage Fund beyond the $700 million pledged so far, and speedy disbursements from the fund, while designating Nairobi as the headquarters for the Santiago Network on Loss and Damage to enhance Africa's access to the fund. O'Brien Kimani for Prime Edition.